Hey guys and girls, Poketing King here, back with another Pokemon video. So today we're going to talk about what's been happening in the last couple of weeks, really, couple of months. Obviously we've had more announcements. We had Pokemon Regionals, we had Pokemon Day. We've had a lot, really, been happening recently. So Pokemon is mental still. It's going to be like this for a while. It's probably not going to change. We have had announcements that we're going to have reprints. There'll be a picture here. I think we've got Paldea Fates, Twilight Masquerade, Paldea Evolved, Obsidian Flames, and Surgeon Sparks. So quite a few of the popular sets. Obviously, Twilight's popular. Surgeon's extremely popular. Paldea Fates has started to move up quite a lot recently. Paldea Evolved has been popular for a little bit while now. Obsidian Flames, I think, has started to rise because all the Scarlet Violet stuff has just gone insane. All the ARs. A lot of it is manipulated. I've said this before. A lot of it is manipulated. Be careful. Be cautious in the market. Time in the market is always better than time. And we've had, obviously, prismatic bundles just dropped last weekend. The weekend just gone. They pretty much sold out instantly. That's pretty much standard. All my members managed to get one bundle, which was great. But it's more of the same at the moment, honestly. We're getting big queues. You're seeing videos of people fighting. It's selling out. Obviously, these reprints are great, and I always try to be very sort of... I like to play the middle ground here, and I don't like to incite FOMO, but I also don't want to undervalue the situation. I like to look at it from a perspective of kind of both sides. Now, the problem with the reprints is, I think people assume that when they announce it, I've seen posts already, and I see it every single time. It's the same old stuff. It's always the, oh, well, scalpers are going to leave now. Can't wait to see. Fuck the scalpers, you know. They're going to lose so much money. Can't wait for it all to go to zero. It's not going to go to zero. The restocks and reprints are never big enough. That's the reality. And they don't come quick enough. Pokemon enjoy this process. When you create a product, you want it to sell outright. You want it to be popular. You want it to do well. And that's exactly the same. That's exactly what Pokemon want. So I don't buy for a second that they actually really care about the consumer. They just don't. If they did... You know, they wouldn't have dropped the print runs when Temporal Foresters came out. So they dropped the print runs by around 30% because demand wasn't there. You know, no one cared about Scarlet Violet in the early era. Everyone was saying it was trash. They said it was shit. It was the worst era ever. But reprints and restocks in Pokemon will get absorbed. There's enough people with enough money that are so deep in this game that it just gets absorbed. And also, if I've got the photos saved still, I will post up. Something that a lot of people don't talk about is the fact that when we have restocks and reprints, stores will go, right, cool, $180 for a box. Now, MSRP in America is $161. And then people will go, well, this store's selling it for above MSRP. Well, with restocks and reprints, distro actually charges a higher price. So I've got a picture here of Twilight Masquerade, actually. I believe I saved it. I'm hoping I did for this video. Where a store actually goes through the pricing over the last 12 months of Twilight Masquerade and how much they've had to pay per box. And the highest price is $155 a box. Now, they're not going to sell it at $161 if they're paying $155. Because after taxes and all stuff, they're losing money. Plus, you know, they've got a business to run here. They've got electricity bills, they've got water bills, they've got rent, they've got staff to pay, they've got loads of overheads that you don't have. So why would they charge $161 if they're paying $155? It just doesn't make any sense. So before you start calling out stores, because don't get me wrong, there's a lot of stores that are charging over MSRP, but before you start calling them out and get the pitchforks out, make sure you have the information available. Because I've seen too many people in this cancel culture bullshit try to cancel stores and call out stores for charging above MSRP when they don't have the full picture. You know, if you don't run a business, at the end of the day, you can have your opinion and that's absolutely fine, but it doesn't mean it's relevant and it doesn't mean it's going to be heard. Because I've seen it too many times now. It's mostly on Facebook groups. I think The average person that collects Pokemon that's on Facebook is just an idiot and is just stupid. They have no clue. They're just casuals, let's be honest here. They don't have a clue how the system works. In an ideal world, distros don't charge higher prices. They also have to bundle product as well. So distros will bundle, boxes of Twilight Masquerade with a Battle Academy decks that no one cares about. The ones that have sat on shelves are the only product you can see on stores. I'm not talking about the Battle League decks, which are a good product. The Battle Academy ones, those big boxes that just no one cares about. They're great if you're brand new getting into the game and you're like 12, but unless you are, it's not good. And Pokemon overprint them because when the first ones came out and it had the Charizard GX, the peak, the ones from Hidden Fates, people were cracking them en masse to grade them because they're stupid. And then Pokemon thought, wow, really, people really like this product. And now they keep printing them still and no one cares. So there's more to the picture than just what you think, that the surface level information you have because of what you see online or what you see in your store. It's not as always as it seems. So try to just understand the situation a little bit better, because I see it all the time. Now, if a store is known for always, charging stupid amounts of money, whatever, and, ripping off the customers, then by all means, I understand. But there's a lot of really legitimate businesses out there. Now, put yourself in their shoes. They say product comes out, cool, and you've got 200 people outside that want a booster bundle of Prismatic, but they've only got 30. You're going to get disappointed. People are camping outside overnight for drops like this. People have got insider information. People are actually paying people at stores to tell them when the restocks come. They'll pay people at these vending machines in America. We don't have that over here, really. I've never seen a vending machine over here with Pokemon cards in it. And if they did, they'd be destroyed anyway. Just like everything else in this country. Like bus stops, like normal vending machines. I did see them in Japan, but it was mostly for plushies. I think there was one at Narita Airport. But only in America would you see stuff like that, unfortunately. But it's going to be more the same. And I've said this tons of times, there's so much you can still collect. Now, just because there's some bits on here that I've talked about before that have been going up quite a bit, like the Stamp Box Pikachu, the Korokoro Mew Pikachu has been going mad. But there's plenty of things that you can still buy that are not moving, that no one cares about. But stop buying what everyone else is buying. It's not your goddamn given right to be able to complete a Master Set Prismatic Evolutions or Surgeon Sparks. You can try, and if you want to, that's fair enough, but don't be complaining. What is it going to achieve at the end of the day? All I see is negativity. And unfortunately, it's just, what clouds over the hobby right now. And it kind of paints a shadow of the hobby being completely toxic when it's not. There's some really amazing people out there, some amazing businesses out there, that are just doing what they can through, these harsh times, to be honest. I recently saw the video that Rob Does Pokemon did where he mentioned he was quitting content creation. He said that, I think it was, he got drunk on a stream one night with Cool Trainer Ryan and a couple other dudes, and he woke up and his kid came over to him or something, and he wasn't able to help. And he realised that, is this the kind of example I want to set for my family? And ultimately, I think there's so many people in this hobby, and I did it in, through the first big boom, through COVID. I was buying stuff that I didn't really collect, but I was doing it because everybody else was. And I got carried away. And I'll admit, I did get carried away. And as somebody as myself who's been in this hobby for a long, long time, I thought that I was going to be, avoid that, but I didn't. And I quit collecting for a couple of months. In fact, it might have been 6 months, actually. And I was just like, look, I need to take stock here and kind of sit back, reevaluate what my goals are in Pokemon and work towards those. And, I reevaluated it, and the goals that I collect are Mews and Pikachus. I still collect my Whismers, my Spoinks, Snowrunts, Swinubs, picking up singles at events like these, every event that I go to, I'll pick up some singles to put in my binders and stuff. That's still there. There's plenty of singles that are extremely affordable that haven't changed in price, that no one cares about, but no one's talking about. You'll see these pages that are sharing the top 5 cards to invest in, or these the biggest stonks. And it's just like, okay, cool. It's great to see a card that you own go up in value. Don't get me wrong. But did you buy it for it to go up in value at the day? Like the Stamp Box Pikachu. I bought it because it's an amazing piece of artwork. I had been to the Tokyo Museum in Japan, and I'd got some of the artwork, the original artwork, prints and stuff, and I wanted the card. I'm looking at the print right there on my shelf, and I wanted the card to go with it. It's a lovely piece of artwork, and that's just that. I didn't buy it because, I wanted it to go up in value. I'm never going to sell the card, so it makes no odds. The same as the KodaCollects Mew. The same as any of these cards here. I'm never going to sell them, so, it doesn't matter about the value. And I think everyone's just so hell-bent on the value, and I really respect Poker Collection, aka Acid. Big respect to him, because he is just somebody who has stayed real and stayed legit and genuine throughout the whole journey. He's been making content for, I think over 14 years now. I was watching him when I was making content as a teenager, and he doesn't put values of stuff. He's just there. And, he's somebody who I call myself a friend now, that I've, spoken to a lot. I had him on the channel, which was an honor. And he's just enjoying the hobby for what it is still. And you can as well. It doesn't have to be all monetary value. And I know, a lot of my content, I include the values and stuff. And that's fine. I mean, that unfortunately, that's what people want to see. So it's kind of a hard one for me as a content creator, because it's like, this is my full-time job. So I have to at least make liberties where I have to adapt sometimes. And I didn't for so long. But the hobby is definitely in a kind of negative space, but there, as I said, there's still positives. We've had some amazing cards. Probably throughout this video, I'll just have cards coming up here that we've got coming up. We've got Heatwave Arena coming up, which is cool. Pokemon Center didn't do pre-orders for this. It's the first time I've ever seen Pokemon Center not do pre-orders for a Japanese set. I think they're probably thinking because it's going to be mental. But we've had 8, I think, of the 12 ARs announced. We've had Ethan's Typhlosion, which looks unreal, by the way. Some of these cards just look so cool. Pokemon are cooking. We've got the Lily's premium box coming out, the milk cartons they do. So that comes with 2 Journey Together packs, and that should be a little bit easier to find than some of the other products. I was extremely, surprised at how little product I'm getting for Journeys Together, aka nothing to sell, which is a shame, but it is what it is. I would rather stores that run events, that brick and mortars that get it, for people that want to, open some packs and stuff. I completely understand that. So I understand the bigger picture here in the game, and I'm not going to get angry or upset about it, because it's just part of what it is, and you have to accept that. But, Pokemon, it is a machine. It will keep going. Restocks will come. Reprints will come. It might not be enough to satisfy people's needs, but it's something. And as we saw with Sword and Shield era, when it went absolutely mental, and then it calmed down, and then we had Lost Origins, Fusion Strike, Silver Tempest, Astral Radiance, Brilliant Stars reprints that the market couldn't absorb because people were like, they've moved on by then. So stores were struggling to sell boxes for, £100 a box. There will be times like that again. Just, enjoy that at the end of the day. Enjoy that. It's going to come. It's not always going to be mental. You might hear a lot of these content creators saying it's going to be like this forever. It is not. It really isn't. We go through cycles. We had 2016 with Pokemon Go, Evolutions, obviously the 20th anniversary. We had 2020, 2024. It happens. It's part of the journey and the process of this. But that is Pokemon. So enjoy what you can, collect what you like. Don't get too hell-bent on the monetary value. I understand how heartbreaking and upsetting it can be when you're just trying to collect and you want to buy stuff and you can't get anything, and every day you go to a shelf and it's empty, especially if you've got kids that want to collect as well, unfortunately. But this is the reality of the hobby. It is shared by a lot of people with a lot more money than we have, and you know, that's just life, unfortunately. But hit the links in the description below. As always, I have memberships. If you want to become a member, it will give you the best opportunity to get drops moving forward. You also get a 5% discount code, and you get exclusive members content. I did recently just pick up a Flesh and Blood collection, which I did a members exclusive video for. And as always, have a great day.